Hello, my name is Csimon, and today we're going to discuss my district's internal and external communication strategies for Tonganoxie Public Schools. First, let's discuss the internal communication groups versus the external communication groups. In our district, we have the school board members, our district administrators, which would be our superintendent and our associate superintendent, the building administrators. So at our building, we have a principal and two vice principals, the teachers, school staff and personnel, which would be paras, um, the custodial staff, our food, food and service staff, as well as the students. The external communication groups would be parents, former students, parent teacher school organizations, community members, local businesses, law enforcement, church groups, athletic coaches, and these are any members that are outside of the school that have an active interest in the school or community. So specifically for our school board members, the way that they internally, let's see if I can move this out of the way they internally communicate with our district. They hold regular board meetings with the district superintendent. They analyze our data. They have data analysis sessions that are held and led by our building administrators. They have building walkthroughs with teachers and staff, and they just have informal personal discussions. They make themselves pretty visible to the community. As far as external communications, they do post the board sessions online. They stream them through YouTube, and they also post them through the district Twitter feed. They also post their meeting notes and agendas on our district website. The building administration, they have staff meetings with the teachers and the staff. They are the ones that lead the data analysis sessions with the school board. They post emails to the teachers about the policies. They will also attend our grade level PLC meetings so that we can talk with them more directly. They also will move throughout the building. They try to make themselves very visible and will host informal discussions during building circulations. But when they communicate with people externally, they have emails and videos or texts that they send to parents to communicate things they need to communicate. They post a monthly newsletter from the school with an administration section. We have an emergency alert system that we use through Skyward if there's ever anything that we need to communicate to all of our parents quickly. That's also how we would communicate school closures. They also host a monthly Student of the Month assembly, and that's open to all the families of the students that are receiving rewards for that. The teachers get to internally communicate through our weekly PLC meetings within our grade level teams. We also can email our entire staff with easy to solve questions or concerns, like if we're looking for something within the building. We have in-service where we get to collaborate with the non-level teams. So we have PLC grade level teams, and then we reserve in-service dates to communicate with groups that are not our regular grade level groups. So we'll either do vertical planning meetings where we'll meet with grade levels above or below us, or we'll even departmentalize, and so we'll meet with math or science or social studies or reading groups. We also have many informal discussions throughout the building, and when we communicate with students, we can do that through regular instruction or class meetings with the students. To externally communicate, we would regularly email parents to update them about classroom activities. In person, we host in-person parent-teacher conferences and meet the teacher nights. Our PTC asks that we have teacher involvement so they can also participate in the parent-teacher organizations. We would call parents or schedule meetings for more sensitive topics. Anytime that I need to communicate with a parent about something that I wouldn't want to be misunderstood, I always try to give them a phone call. We also have grade level Twitter feeds where we can post information about the entire grade level. I'm in 5th grade, so we have a Twitter feed. Other grades like to use a grade level Facebook page. As far as the regular support staff throughout the building, we do have staff meetings that they are involved in and are invited to. They participate in staff meeting emails for the whole building. We also host in-person meetings with the collaborating teachers or supervisors, specifically with paras. When they're in the classroom, they host regular meetings with the paras, teachers will, so that they can get on the same page and make sure that we're doing what's best for students, and also informal personal discussions throughout the building as well. External communications with the support staff. So this is the section where it kind of transitions to the internal communications being a little less and the external communications happening a little bit more. So as far as support staff, they get to participate in parent-teacher organizations and meetings as well. They can attend and participate in after-school functions. They often will volunteer for those as well. They have more limited amounts of parent interactions, though, because of student protection laws. Parents, as far as internal communication, it's a little more difficult for them to be internally involved in the school because they are not in the building as often, but they are able to attend and participate in the parent-teacher organizations, which gets them more internally involved. As far as external communications, though, they collaborate with teachers through the apps like Seesaw or Google Classroom is what we use in the older grades at our school. They attend parent-teacher conferences and meetings with teachers. They attend school-sponsored events, including sports or fairs, and they have paper notes that they receive from parents or from the teachers or flyers that come home with their students. Students are a little bit more internally involved. They get to participate in classroom meetings with the teachers. They get to regularly attend class, and they get to go through interactions through Google Classroom. As far as in external communications, they are able to communicate with their parents via email. At the older ages, we limit phone usage and allow them to use email. Paper notes and flyers that come home for school activities. They have student-led parent-teacher conferences. At fifth grade, at least, we use some student-led parent-teacher conferences. They also get to participate in extracurricular clubs. Our community members have much more external communications with the school. They get to attend our board meetings. They can participate in parent-teacher organizations. They also are who we get to volunteer for empty spaces that we have at our field day events or our school carnivals. They also get to donate resources for school fundraisers. Our biggest community members that we use are our local churches. As I mentioned in prior videos, we use the West Haven Baptist Church to help us fill volunteer sections for our school carnival, and they're very, very helpful and supportive to us. We have many local businesses that are active within our community that provide us with resources, and so we have school business liaisons. My wife's personal business is very involved with the school. Usually that happens through me, but also she's involved with our parent-teacher organization as well. We have a lot of former students that like to come back and volunteer for our field day events, and that's been a lot of fun. And we have a lot of grandparents and relatives in the community that like to be involved in our community events as well. Our other constituencies, which would be our local law enforcement, our local health officials. Our mayor is the husband of one of the teachers in our building, so he's very present in our building as well. Our Chamber of Commerce. The bigger clubs in our community are our 4-H programs, our Boy Scouts, and we have a Tonganoxie Recreation Sports Club Commission that is very involved in as well. We have several business partnerships. Our biggest one that we have that is actually pretty new is our partnership with Hills Dog Food. They have been volunteering a lot of their resources, and actual employees have come to donate their time to help us with STEM activities. So our external communications with them, or between us and our other constituencies would be participation in building in services. We've had police come in and participate in a lot of our in-services. And obviously, we've also had a lot of local health officials to help us when COVID was very active. Special lunches or visits to the classroom from law enforcement, or our mayor is in the building quite a bit. We have shared use of our Tonganoxie Sports Club facilities, and so they get to come and host events at our school, and we also get to host events at their facilities as well. They also volunteer for several events and classroom activities. I mentioned Hill's Dog Food and coming and helping with STEM activities. So, two-way communication. Our district regularly communicates with the external public, and we try to provide many opportunities for people to respond back to us. The ways that we do that are that we have a newly appointed district communication coordinator. He filters all the information from the school to the public, and then he also coordinates feedback and surveys that we give to our community members. It's more than just parents. They give it to parents, teachers, students, and community members as well, so that they can provide feedback on how we can improve. Who communicates the most? I feel like teachers communicate to parents the best. It is probably the most tried and true way to communicate with our stakeholders. I personally feel like I have established a lot of good routines with a newsletter and regular use of Google Classroom so that I can communicate with my families in my classroom. I love to keep the families engaged, and I feel like I have a lot of good parent support because they feel really involved in what the classroom is doing. Who needs to communicate more? I do feel like in our district specifically that there is a disconnect between our school board to our teachers. We've had some issues where we are not allowed to communicate directly with board members. From certain administrators have made that known and given us directives to go through them if we want to communicate with the school board. So I would love to see more discussions that happen directly between teachers and our school board members, specifically surrounding our use of data, because we have many expert teachers on how to use data and how it's used in our classroom. And I would love to be able to communicate that with the board. These were the references I used. Thank you very much.